go ahead. Hello and welcome to the 20th session of Stars in the Dark. We're getting close to some kind of season finale, I think. Maybe this session, maybe next session, maybe it's some ways away still. We'll see. Depends on how quickly things move. But before we get into the game itself, I wanted to have at least a brief discussion about the state of the world, since I don't think anyone will watch this far in the future. But since the last time we played, we skipped a week, and since the last time we played, there's a war on in the Ukraine. And that kind of touches on some of the things that's going on in the game, since the last thing, literally the last thing that happened last session was that Bria and Boco saw a column of stormtroopers with tanks marching towards your neighborhood. And that kind of put, now that feels a bit weird. I posted some suggestions for how we can handle this on the Slack before, and we had some opinions, I guess, posted there, some preferences, I should say. My preference as well, or actually I shouldn't say anything before, because Rich and Kai have posted there. Stephen and Mark haven't said anything yet. I don't know what your preferences are.
So I'll start. So my preference is I'm fine changing that last little piece of fiction to something that might not be as triggering. I'm also fine keeping it how it is. And I was, I've thought a little bit about like, oh, is there something we could do that would kind of be a palate cleanser, or maybe like a one-off that's like someone's off screen or something like that. But that doesn't make a lot of sense at this point in the story. And I'm also fine just kind of skipping over that and telling the story of what happened afterward. Just whatever we kind of want to do, I think I'm okay with. And if I have any emotional issues, I'll just X card or open door. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I don't have any particular issues. I think, yeah, growing up in the 80s, that's just how it is with the media. But yeah, if anyone has any sensitivities or issues or anything about it at all, I'm totally cool doing whatever we need to do.
Yeah. My preference is that we keep going, but that we're cautious, that everyone's aware of their own emotional state, I guess, and are, if someone wants to pause and like, I need to process this, I need to think a bit, we can take a short break. I mean, that's not an issue, and then we can decide, do we want to keep going or not? Do we? And I want people to be liberal with using the X card or anything else if something turns up that they feel uncomfortable with regarding this. I should say that for me, I've been thinking about this situation for like 6 weeks or something, because that's how long this has been coming. So I'm kind of, for me, this isn't something that's just showing up now and wow, oh wow, this seems terrible. And also, I think as the GM, I'm in a slightly different position, but because I'm kind of driving that part of the story. I mean, if the stormtroopers are doing bad things, it's because I've decided they're doing bad things. So I think that insulates me a little bit, which isn't to say that it couldn't happen that I say, oh, and then they do this, and then I realize, oh shit, I don't want. So it's possible that I will X-card myself if I realize that I don't want to go into something, or will be a bit more liberal with veiling things, just to avoid going into detail about military oppression of civilians and that sort of thing, because that's what's going to happen. So
So let's talk about that for just a second.
Yeah.
Because I saw that someone added to the safety links, ask
Yeah,
first
that was
about
me.
military
Yeah.
action against civilians. And I upped that to a line.
Okay.
Because I don't necessarily want to see the same thing that we're seeing in the news right now.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, it can be implied like, oh, the bomb goes off, but I don't necessarily want to see, the aftermath of that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I think at some point I'm going to describe what their intended plan is. And then I think we need to discuss how we want to handle that, and because that's going to touch directly on some of these things. I have not intended there to be like massacres or anything, so we're clear of that. But there's going to be some heavy-handed treatment, and I think we'll deal with that when we get there, and be careful and be considerate of each other. Cool. I think that's all I had to say about that. Does anyone want to add anything?
I just want to say I really appreciate the sensitivity with which you've approached this audition. I
Yeah.
trust you as a GM to handle this appropriately.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think we should, at least to remind ourselves and each other, and maybe me a little bit as well, I think we should do a quick round just to remind ourselves of where everyone is, where all the characters are, and what their current situation is. Actually, before we do that, I'll go through the wishes, the wish list. These are the things that I have on hand from what was brought up last time, and the remaining ones from before. We want to, or I should say you, you want to deal with the artifact in some way, take it off the board, but handle it in some fashion. You want to see the results of betraying Tor, which I think you haven't completed that betrayal. You have the coordinates for you have the probable location of the rebel hideout. You want to know what happened to Celine. You want the recording of your discussion, the recording that was made when you were talking to Molatebs, I think it was, to show up at an unsuitable time. You want a good outcome for Thierry, and Kai in particular wants Roslyn to take Valsi, and from way back we have a wish for a scene with Maxa to see how she's handled her situation. I don't know if that's still current. I think maybe after this session, maybe we should go through and check which of these are still relevant. I think most of them are. Yeah. Anyway, a quick round to establish where everyone is. I'll go in character keeper order. So, Rich, what's up with Atoma?
Are we blue skying this, or like it's been 2 weeks and I've played
I think
8 games.
Like where was Atoma when we ended the last session?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I don't recall. Steven, you're talking. I'll mute.
Yep, sorry about that. I can help a little bit.
Please, thank you.
Because why don't we go in reverse character order?
Yeah, sure.
Because I looked at my notes and I'm like, oh, that's what happened. If you remember, I think it was in the last session or close to the last session, whenever Atoma went unconscious in the ship while Bade was driving it.
Oh, she
and
got
crashed
messed
it
up
through buildings, and
Yes.
Bade traumatized out, and We were recovering back at the base, and I think the Morn was helping us and like resolved all of my issues. So I was walking around in the base, annoying Atoma, with like how quickly I recovered. And the trauma that I took is unstable, which manifests in her acting, super cocky about what she's accomplished, and then super submissive about the mistakes that she's made.
Thank you so much. So there you go. I got my Car King Chevs handed to me in a gunfight in the shuttle as we were hurtling towards our current. And I missed all of Bade's amazing, like taking out a tower, and I would be really impressed with what she did if I'd seen it, which I did.
Did you take a trauma from that?
I did. I took a trauma, and after some conversation with y'all, I landed on Vicious, which is going to make dealing with her Ratataki people on 1314 harder.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
you still have a broken leg, but otherwise you recover.
That's fine. We got broken legs, or it's for sissies or something.
Yeah, I think we're jumping around a bit, but I think we'll go to Bria next. So Kai, where's Bria? I think Brienne Boco are pretty much in the same place.
So as a reminder, Bria had a very intense conversation with Atoma explaining the what's the word? Betrayal that we're planning, because our family closer is more important than our family outward, which is not a great point of view. But she explained, this is how we survive. And
expected a big fight from Atoma, which
Right.
she did not get.
Yeah. And then went with Boco to try to do the stakeout. And then we were coming back and we saw the military people. That's what I remember from the session. And that sound is my cat.
I was like, that sounded like a dog whining, but
Yeah.
the only person on mute was Kai, who doesn't have a dog. So thank you for explaining.
Yeah, I think that's the last I remember. Doing the run to pick up Atoma and Bade from the wreck, flashing a fake badge around, maybe, or at least verbally bringing them back, and then go out to do the recon on Tor's place, and then coming back to the tank column.
Yeah, cool. So mechanically, we're in downtime. Bria still has 2 downtime actions. Atoma has 1 because he bought 1 extra. So that's what we have to do there. If you want to do some kind of job, or I mean, you will do some kind of job after downtime, because that's how the game works. You may want to start thinking about that, or we should get to that point in this session probably. And you can do some gather info and that sort of thing on that when you settle on it. But I don't want to rush you into deciding what job you're doing, because the situation is pretty fluid, and there's a lot of things happening. I think we'll start with Brienne Boco. You just spotted this, and you, if I recall correctly, you were traveling like on the rooftops and that sort of thing. Yeah, high up to avoid being spotted. And there's you were in the foundry. There are a lot of these really high factory towers, but some of them are abandoned. Some have like are run by droids, and some are very sparsely manned. So it's not a problem to get through there. Some of the buildings are lower. Sometimes you use a lot of these walkways that go between the buildings and that sort of thing. Sometimes you have to improvise something, but you're used to doing this. You spent a lot of time in the foundry, so you know how to do this. I think particularly Boco. I think you're the one who's used to this, and Bria, of course, is very acrobatic. You have your implants and things that help you with this. So I don't think you have any issues. But you've spotted this column. It's about 40 stormtroopers with 3 of these occupier tanks, I think they're called. They're in the current. There's a picture in the current job tab of the tank. Check. Yeah, occupier assault tank is what they're called. There are some. There's a few speeder bikes following along as well, and as they are moving through the foundry, they are also picking up some street sec squads that are starting to march along with them. So,
And you said they were heading north?
They're heading north towards the scrapyard.
Cool.
And your base isn't located exactly where they're going, but you're not far from it. I mean, if they turn a little bit, they'll go straight for you. But if I recall correctly, you're in the piece of the foundry that's sticking out right north of Bright Market. So, in that piece that's just north of that. So you're close to the foothills, close to Bright Market, very close to the foundry. Yeah. So what do you do? Do you just rush back to the headquarters, or do you do something?
Can you remind me the Black Sun job we did where we met Kernock? Was that in the scrapyard or the Fringe?
That was in the Fringe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Just trying to place everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like heading back to base is a good plan. What do you think?
So I'm imagining that Bria is beginning to feel the effects of PTSD, having watched stormtroopers march on her family. So I think at first, like, she's non-responsive. Like, you talk to her and she's not nodding, she's not correcting you, right? Like, she's just there. And I guess if it were a movie, like, her hearing would be just the sounds of, blasters and bombs and stuff like that, right? But then she notices you, and she says, yeah, we have to evacuate. Let's go.
Yeah. And I think when Boco notices that she's not responsive, I think he starts out like urgent, like maybe even like, oh, like gonna snap a couple like images or something to make sure that we have an accurate idea. But then like when he notices that Bria is not responsive, like he like brings it down and like checks in. Like, are you okay? Do you need anything? Do we need to tell me what you need and we'll take care of it?
Her eyes are wild, but they eventually fix on you, and she says, you're the leader now. Like, make the choices. Okay?
All right. Let's go take care of the crew one way or the other. I just want to make sure everyone's safe, and if we have to move, we'll move. If we have to move far, we'll move far. but we'll make sure everyone's safe. And if you need to, if we need to get your people along with us or do something to take care, we'll figure it out.
Good. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, and skedaddle.
Yeah, and you can get back. I mean, you're faster than the marching stormtroopers. You have a more complicated path, but they have to deal with traffic and that sort of thing. Even if people are quick to move out of the way, it's still they're not moving that fast. And this is, from what you can tell, this is also like a show of strength. The conflict in the foundry, like street fighting, has died down before this, but this is clearly to show that you don't have any chance to mess with us. This is the kind of resources we can bring to bear if you try something. So it's got that to it as well. You see a lot of people standing like silently watching them pass. Some people cheer. There are people who like the Empire, and there's someone who yells something less favorable, and if they don't run away immediately, Street Sec is on them and grabs them. So it's and there occasionally you spot like a scuffle, but there are no big fights. People are pretty scared of this. The stormtroopers don't get involved in these minor scuffles, but it's clear that they see what's going on. They're keeping watch. They're not just like marching straight ahead. They are like watching what's happening. You get back to your headquarters. I assume Atoma and Bade are still there, unless you have run off on some other something else. Atoma maybe not running so much, but
So I was going to do a second downtime, or buy another downtime option,
yeah.
and now might be a good time just to draw a little bit of tension up. So if we want to have the scene where they come back, then Bait isn't there.
Cool. Unless you want to have already finished doing that, that's fine as well. If you
I'm fine
want
with
to
that.
be there, you can be there.
Okay. I think I'll come back while after they arrive, but maybe mid-scene.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. So Brienne Boco arrived back. Atoma, you're in the headquarters. The rest of the gang are there as well. Some of them are talking, and you notice them. Are you staying in your room, or are you like moving around?
Atoma's moving around. I think she's limp pacing. Maybe she's grabbed a battle rifle. If I remember correctly, there was a scene where she had the battle rifle. She was using like a crutch.
Yeah.
And she's probably gotten a little high just to stave off the pain.
Yeah, so I think you notice sometimes like a conversation between Esnada and Jita stopping when they notice you, and you couldn't hear exactly what they were talking about before, but they clearly changed the subject when they notice you, and yeah, it's a pretty tense mood. That's when Bria and Boco come back. And I assume you're using the service tunnels. I think that's what we've established is your usual way inside.
Yeah, I think as soon as we get in, I'm just like Imperials have a tank column moving north, not directly this way, but kind of this way. We got to figure something out. I don't know where they're headed exactly, but it's not going to be good for us or anyone.
Are we bugging out?
I think we need to talk about that. It'll take a
Bree?
little while to get up here, but I don't know how
Hey.
long.
Bree, you okay?
You're muted, Kay.
Well, she wasn't talking very much either. So she takes a little while to respond to you. And then she says, yeah, we need to discuss leaving.
Okay. All right. Let's discuss it. I'll look at the two who were whispering. Where's Bade?
And this is S. She went out. She had something she needed to do. She didn't say when she'd be back. Wouldn't be long.
Dang Ferric. I'll try to get her on the comm.
I think Bade answers and is like super happy. Oh, hey, I'm glad to hear you.
We're meeting up. There's trouble, entanglements. You know what I
When
mean?
isn't there trouble? Right. Okay. I'll come back.
Yeah. So what has Bade been
so
up
Bria,
to? Yeah. Sorry.
go ahead. Bria is actually for the moment convinced that Bade set all this up, because that's what she's projecting, like, because that's what we've done, and that's why Bade is so happy, is because like I'm not there and you're about to be screwed. So that's just what's in her mind right now. So anyway, please continue.
Yeah. So Bade, what have you been up to while the others were away?
Yeah. So my idea was I wanted to buy another downtime action, and I want to reduce heat. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go out into the local pubs and the local bars in the area, and I'm going to start spreading, that a lot of the things that we're actually responsible for, it was actually Black Sun that did this. So like, did you see the big shuttle that got smashed? I hear it's the big old assassin. I heard her name is Kernock, and she's killed like 50 people, and yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So what do you want to roll for that?
I think that's probably consort.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Yep. Do you have a devil's bargain?
Ooh. Well,
She's there and overhears you.
That's a bit too harsh. But yeah, word will definitely get back to Black Sun about this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sooner than it would normally, because I mean they would find out about it eventually, but they'll hear about it sooner.
Yeah. Okay, so let's roll and see what that looks like. I think that's what. I can either take a devil's bargain or I can push myself. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So. Okay, I got a 3. That's my highest. That's 1 tick off the heat, which doesn't sound too good, but I think I can spend in order to increase that.
Yeah. You can spend cred to increase that.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 stash. And what this is mechanically, or story-wise, what this looks like is I'm actually spending a lot of money going around to these bars to spread these rumors. And I think I'm in the middle of like buying drinks or buying a round or something like that whenever Atoma calls, and I'm like, you know, I look at it and there's this flash of like, you know, ham in the middle of something. And then it's like, oh, hey, you know, everything's great. You know, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I'll be right back. I mean, when is there not trouble? And then, you know, kind of finishes up what she needs to do at the bar and then heads back.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think that's two
choose-
ticks off the hit. Heat.
Yeah. I remove one, I remove another. So you're down to 4 heat, which is better. I'll make a note that they did action. Cool. So you're spending from your stash. And that means you're kind of liquidating assets. I mean, in the very general sense. So what is it that you're getting rid of to get this spending money?
So I think this is the equivalent of something I would carry on my person. So I think that it's something like maybe a small bit of useful equipment, like a scanner, or maybe some of the data I've gotten in the past that would be worthwhile. And it's, you know, seeing someone in the back corner being like, oh, okay, I'm going to go talk to that person. Here's the list of prisoners that were on that transport ship. They give me a couple of coins, which I then go and buy around at the bar, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Cool. So you get the call and you get back to the headquarters. What's the discussion there?
So I think whenever I come back, I go right to where Atoma was the last time I saw her, in, you know, on the cot kind of thing. And I think she's up pacing around, and I'm like, oh, come on. And I start looking around. I see the two people who were whispering, and I'm like, you know, hey, where's Atoma?
Yeah, she's with Brienne Boco. They're in with a thing, that ball globe thing. You've got the artifact.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna head in there. I think the door busts open, so it's kind of a surprise.
That gets a blaster pistol raised and aimed
Right.
at your
Yeah.
general direction.
I'm a
I
little
think same.
drunk, right?
Boco's
I'm a
on
little.
the- on
I'm like,
edge, too.
hey, you know, I heard there was something I needed to get back for.
A little buzzed from drinking at the bar, that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and I smell like a bar, right? Like I've been out partying.
And to be clear, you have maybe it's maybe an hour before the column gets into the scrapyard. That doesn't mean they're at where you are, but that's when since they've been looking for you in the scrapyard, that's when things will probably start to happen.
Why so glum? What's going on?
I think maybe I have a little. Yeah, I took some images of the column moving while we were up there. I just like pop that open, the little hollow. Like that's gonna be here in an hour.
Oh shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Do you think you could be sober by then?
I'm sober enough now.
So
Where are we going? And what are we doing with that?
yeah, that's the big question.
Can we
So
detonate it?
yeah, ooh, that's another option. So options are leave it here for them to find, try to sell it, blow it up.
Oh, I could probably steal a truck that we could put it in. Which is a bad idea. Yeah.
I think we sell it. We're gonna need some credits to move. I mean, we're giving up our home. Are we telling those whispering yahoos? Because I think I don't trust them. I mean, how did they find us?
Who was the ones that was whispering?
That was Gita and Esnada.
It's hard to I don't know who outside this room we can trust.
Okay, I have
I
to.
think you have. Oh, sorry.
I have to
Um,
speak up. You know, we shouldn't be leaving people in the crew behind unless we absolutely know that there was a problem. I wouldn't leave any of you behind.
All right.
Agreed. But we'll keep an eye on them.
I think you have like a comms console in this room that I don't know what it beeps or something. There's an incoming call or connection.
Bree, you got
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So she walks over and flips the switch.
Oh, hello. This is Zori. I've had a visit from a common acquaintance. And I think and she's very hesitant. She's not at all her usual breezy self. She's usually very laid back. She sounds tense. I think if Bria, if you could come visit me. I know you said it was the last time, but you know, I have a new stash, some really quality spice you don't want to miss out on.
Can Atoma come?
Sure. The more the merrier.
Okay. So I guess I want to know how much of a trap this is. So consort? I mean, she's like,
Yeah, consort works.
she's part of our, she's a friend-ish.
Yeah.
All right. I'll roll my 2 dice on that to see what happens. Two twos. That's good. They add together to a 4, so that helps me out.
It's actually no. It's
No.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
If
bad.
you're starting on episode 20, I am lying about the rules there. So,
Yeah. You don't know. I mean, it's obvious that this is not something she wants to say, but you're not at all sure what's going on.
Okay. So once again, jumping into Bria's mind, in the underworld, are there any other acquaintances other than Zori that we are on good terms with? Like Zori, we were on good terms with, right?
You're still on good terms with the Thousand Knights. The problem is that they're kind of scattered and
Sure.
not in a strong position.
Okay.
But they are still very friendly with you.
Okay.
You are on decent terms with the tunnel rats and the gray mice,
Right.
as well as the wilted flowers, who haven't really been in play, but through your would-be fiance. And the wreckers, who are happy that they're just happy because you put the heart on the rancors a bit. And the Hut Cartel they're also kind of more favorable than disfavorable, but it's not really someone. None of them are really anyone you can call on other than maybe the Thousand Knights.
Well-
you can probably get help from the tunnel rats or the gray mice if you,
Yeah.
you need to, but
Right.
yeah.
So where I was going with this is Zori is pretty much the only contact we have now that, at least in Bria's mind, could help us reemerge, right? Like we hide with the tunnel rats, but we ally back again with Zori, and we find a new place, we find a new gig, we find a new way of handling things, and it's an utter fantasy. You know, not bound, based in reality, very much reality. But because of that, she wants to, like, she's, despite the risk, she wants to help or save Zori. And maybe there's some nostalgia there too. And the whole, you know, wearing a mask thing, like she's got the old Mandalorian ways going.
Yeah.
So
And you know that Zori is in with Black Sun, because they're the ones who are supplying her with
Right.
with her merchandise.
okay.
Would it make sense to ask her to meet us somewhere that is not a usual place, and just like watch and see who shows up?
You could try that. You're kind of on the clock here, so
Yeah.
so it's setting up anything elaborate is probably tricky.
Yeah. Or we could just tell her that we're busy, I guess. Like, got a lot of shit to do.
We could all meet with her. And if the imps show up, then that's that many more people that will be fighting beside us.
I assume that you've either ended the call or like said I need to talk to
Muted
the
our
others.
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell her that, like, I'll get back to her with the time soon. Like, I'll just, you know, let me go talk to the guys. I'll be right back, kind of thing.
Just yes. Don't wait too long.
No. Yes. Talk to you soon, Zori. Or whatever pet name she might have for her. Like, we never really established anything, but if we got really close, then there was probably some name.
I think most people just call her Zori,
Okay.
unless you've come up with something
No.
different.
That's fine. That's fine.
So it's definitely a trap. Yes.
Yeah.
I think main concern here is Zori safe?
Yeah.
Because otherwise we could just tell her that we're not going to do it.
Yeah. So that's when Bria, like, basically, like, comes up with her crazy fantasy. She's like, we need Zori, and she explains why while creating a tinfoil hat for herself. And I'm just saying, like, it's not who Bria is, but she's like, I think we have to take care of her. What do we do? What do we do? Yeah. I thought it was gonna be that'd be easy to decide.
Listen,
So
we need to
quick
deal with
question.
the artifact first.
Yeah.
We can. She's not going to buy the artifact
Yeah.
unless Zori desperately needs us. I think we do this thing first, then we need to get out of here, and we can meet with Zori on the way to finding some new place to be. Boco, what do you think?
Do we trust the tunnel rats or the mice enough to stash the artifact with them?
I don't know about you guys, but the gray mice, they'd sell it. They'd get rid of it. I mean, that's our job, right? So
What about the tunnel rats?
We've leaned on them really hard when we did them a solid, and they've done us a number. I think we'll have to pay them for it, but I know they're no friends of the imps, so we have that
That's
at
true.
least.
my thinking might be stash the artifact, get everyone else out, tell Zori to meet us here, and rig the place to blow. And if imps show up, they go up with it. And if it's just Zori, we don't do anything.
Boco, you feel something, you're not sure what it is, and then all of you hear the artifact vibrate. It's been acting weird for the last few days. This is by far the most active it's been. It's been shifting in size a bit. It has been vibrating from time to time. This is the first time it's been audible.
Is it listening to us? I mean, is this a listening thing?
It very well could be. We have no idea what it is, except powerful. Maybe I'll try and attune and see if I can talk to it somehow or feel what's going on with it. And just be like,
are you trying to communicate with it or calm it down, or
yeah, I think
what's your
at least communicate, and like the message I want to send is that we can hear you, but we're not sure what you're saying. We want to take care of you, and you're important to us. We're not going to let anything bad happen to you.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds like an attune.
Yeah, and I will push myself there for sure.
Do you want help from someone? And if so, can someone help you?
Yeah, no one else has a tune, so I don't know.
I don't think Atoma would help if she knew.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with 2 dice and see what happens.
Cool.
There's a 6.
Nice. I think with this, you fill up or you empty the clock that we had for the artifact. You can sense that the artifact is definitely unstable in the long term, but you can also sense that you communicating with it has, whether that's because of what you said or just that you communicated with it, or that you whatever it was, it has stabilized for now. It's back to feeling the way it felt before it started acting up. And it
Do I get anything back from it, or is it just feel stable?
No, nothing concrete, just the sense of it almost going to sleep, like it's receding and receding from consciousness or from activity, something like that.
Yeah, I'll turn to the group and say, I think it's okay now. It seems stable. It seems like nothing bad is going to happen, but it's still a grenade with a pin in it. So not literally.
No, not exactly literally. So we're going to stash this with the tunnel rats for how long?
Or maybe with Morn. I don't know if we could. I don't know how. I don't know who it's safest with. I feel like it might be safest with someone who doesn't know what it is. But
Why couldn't we sell it before we go to see Zori?
Yeah, why couldn't we?
We could, if we could find a buyer. There's always Hara.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's.
Yep.
We need money.
It might be worth a call.
Which of us is? Do we have any contacts with Hara, or is it a cold call?
I don't think you have any direct contact information. You could try to get hold of your old contact, Lydra. Because you know that they've been in contact with Hera, but Lydra hasn't. The last time you went to their office behind the laundromat, they weren't there. And you know it's been that Street Sec has been there, so they're kind of in the wind, as far as you know. The door opens and Esnada looks in. I know you're, and I think she looks to Bria because you're usually the one who's
Sure.
in command.
Right.
Sorry, boss. We just want to know what's going on. Is there anything we should do, or should we just hunker down here, or what's the plan?
I look at Boco for a second and I say, let's get together with Janusz. We've got some work to do. The point being is to rig the place to blow. And if y'all go to sell it without me, then I know how to take care of my downtime actions rather quickly. Which would be she sneaks into the place where she gets her cyber stuff adjusted, and she does work on herself. So she'll take what I'm doing is I'm training, and we get 2 points for prowess. So I'll train twice for 4 points, and then I'll spend 2 stash to do it again. So that basically she goes up to a level 3 prowl, but she probably loses her, like they're gonna know she broke in. So like this is her losing access. This is her last big thing. So she's gonna overclock herself and double the megahertz or whatever. And
Hit the turbo button.
If I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken,
turbo
you can only train 1 track once per downtime.
Oh, right.
Really? Screw me.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
All right. Well,
So
then
you could do it. You could still do multiple trains. Just do it with different tracks.
Yeah.
The point was to have like something to show for it at the end of it. So,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
in the rules summary. I'd forgotten about it, but yeah, you can only train each track once per downtime.
dang it, Harper. Okay. Well, anyway, we're like either she's going to give organize the crew to start working with Janusz, or she'll stay behind, whatever's best for the story. And then as a player, I'll think about what my downtime actions look like.
Cool.
Well, Atoma,
so
you
it
still have a
sound-
downtime action. Is that right?
I think so.
Atoma still has one.
Yes, I even wrote myself a note. Future me got a note from me. I don't write notes of events, but mechanics. What does that say about me as a player? Wait, that doesn't sound good. So I have a thing I can do. I should heal a broken leg. That's -1D to everything. Oh, that's a lot. That sucks a lot. What else could we do? I'm good on stress, if I remember correctly, because I have no stress. I'm 1 tick in on the healing clock away. Do we have any other stuff we need that needs doing?
So, Atoma, what I've been doing is I've been spreading the word that, it wasn't us that made all these hits. But, and I think she pointedly doesn't look at your brace that you're standing on, the big weapon, and how you're leaning on the gun, and says, but if we're going to have to move, you're going to need to be able to move fast. So I think we need to talk to Morn about getting you fixed up.
Man, I don't want a cybernetic leg. Okay. Well, you can put some kind of brace on me. So I guess
And
I'll
while we're
get
there,
healed.
let's talk to him
Sorry.
about the artifact.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I just noticed when I acquire asset that medical treatment is something you can acquire. So I could spend.
Oh yeah, just do that.
I'll do a downtime activity and get one of the. Hold on. I'll get someone from the Foothills or Emerald Row or some Bright Market or something like that, like a really good doctor or whatever, to give you like a mini Bacta tank or something like that. I don't know. To
You
help
can do that. I mean, you have Morn as someone you can go to without doing that.
Right.
So
All right.
If you want to, it depends on
I'll waste my action and
Oh,
then
okay.
Kai,
You'll do
you
it?
can do
Okay.
it. Yeah, you can do your own thing.
Okay. I was just trying to think of a story wave to
I appreciate
that.
that.
Yeah.
Bria's so good to me. But yeah, I think
and
I'll heal.
and Rich, I'm pretty sure you bought an extra downtime action last time to get the
Right, because we
the
talked through the
thing.
whole.
So if you want, we can roll that back. You have your cred back, and you've done your downtime actions. Unless you want to go, I mean, if you want to go to Morn to get healed, or someone else, you have other options as well. You can do that.
I'll get healed. It's okay. The healer makes a roll, tinker for a PC with medic ability, quality for an NPC.
Yeah, and I think we've established that it's 2D for Morn because Morn has 2D in the skill, in the action.
All right, here it comes. A 4 and a 5. The 5 is 2 ticks that will roll over and knock down 1 level. So broken leg becomes like bruised leg, I guess.
Yeah, I think you have like a sore leg, maybe.
Okay. Cool. There we go.
And the extra tick rolls over, so you have 1 tick on your next
excellent.
Next cycle.
Thank you for that reminder. Good. Okay, that uses up that downtime action. Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're angling for as your next job is selling the artifact. So maybe Bria could do something that's related to that. You may want to do some just gather info. I mean, you can get into contact with Hera. The Grey Mice can probably help you with that. Bade has an in with them, so you can get in touch with her. I don't think we need to play through that. It's not. I mean, it's not impossible for you to get in touch with her. Maybe we make a roll to see if you can do it quickly, since you kind of want to move fast on this. The more things are going to start happening fairly soon, probably with a garrison column. So maybe this is a good time to take a break. We'll take a break and cool. So like I said, it seems the plan is to sell the artifact to Hera. You can get in touch with her, but it might take some time. You don't know how much time you have. I think that's the core of the situation. Atoma, you've gone off to Moore to get your leg looked at again. Bria, do you still want to do some training, or do you want to do completely different downtime actions?
I really can't think. I guess I could start like destroying records of us to reduce heat. Like, you know,
Sure.
I don't know what point reducing heat is at this point, but
actually, I think this is a mechanical question. I think reducing heat is great because it reduces, if you have to roll entanglement, which I think you do after a job, it reduces how bad things go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So getting heat to 0 to 3, I think, is really good.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So I'm trashing records while we're setting up the ship to blow. I just roll an action, I guess. Study. Survey.
Or tinker could work.
Tinker.
Wreck,
All right. Yeah, I'm
maybe if it's like physically destroying things.
I could do wreck.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not like you have paper, because paper kind of almost doesn't exist in Star Wars. I mean, what records you have are computer records. So if you just take a vibro axe to the to the computer bags, then
That's what's happening. A 2, which gets me what?
I
1
think that's
point,
just one.
which puts us at 3. So I'll do it again. I'll keep swinging. Maybe this time it'll be better. Hit the button.
Maybe like
Wow.
calling your that's terrible.
Yeah.
Like calling some of your contacts to tell them to get rid of what they have as well, if they have something.
Okay. Yeah. I'll spend 2 stash to start talking to those people and making that happen, and I'll make that into a consort roll.
This
So
is when
that
you
we-
crit, of course.
Yeah, look, it's all good. And nope, 2 1s. Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay, well that's still 3 heat.
Yeah.
Off of us.
Get them out of the way now.
Expensive, but
It was expensive, yeah.
You're aware it's not XP on a fail in this game, okay?
Yeah.
You need to stop telling the dice to hose you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna roll hot to no, it's not gonna work. Not that kind of
yeah.
monster.
So if you want to reach out to Hera, I think like I said, the gray mice is probably the fastest way. So that's probably something Bade could do. We could also, if you're not trying to set up anything fancy, if you're just trying to, you want to cut a deal with Hera, then I think it's just a question of transporting the artifact. And I think we can go straight into the job, unless you want to prepare something special beforehand. Because like a grav sled or something to tow it on, that's not something you need to roll.
Yeah, I think the priority is just getting it out and making a bucks process. It doesn't have to be.
We are putting an ad on Craigslist saying you must bring your own truck to pick up.
10 cred OBO. Barely used.
Yeah, what's happening while you're doing this, making these preparations. Bade, you're reaching out to the great mice. Bria is smashing your computers. Atoma is putting in a call with or visiting Morn. Boco, what are you doing while all of this is going on?
I'll help organize the packing up and evacuation and wiring the place to go up.
Cool, cool. So I think make some kind of roll for that. If you're mostly like coordinating the others, you could roll
Yeah.
command. Or if you have something else you think would fit better, then happy to hear what you want
Yeah,
to
that
do.
sounds the most likely. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna push to just to get some stress up there.
So that's 2 dice.
Yeah, that's a 2. All right.
The dice are not with you today. Yeah, Janusz is all too happy to start bringing explosives. A bit too happy about it,
Mhm.
It seems. And Esnada, Gita, and IG, they're assisting. They're not. I mean, Gita she looks like she wants to just get out of here. She's really antsy. She does not like this. She is worried about the artifact. She came over from Veldran, so she's also
Right.
into the Force stuff. She's not happy about selling it, but she understands the position you're in. Esnada, she just shouldn't we just leave? Do we really need this? We can just go. And but she's yeah. And IG is more like there are stormtroopers coming. I want to kill them.
You'll get
So
your chance.
it's disorganized. It's not like they're not working
Yeah.
well together.
Yeah.
While this is going on, Boco, you get a call on your personal comms from Veldran.
Hmm.
Oh, hey, Boco. Good thing I
Veldran.
caught you. I know we're not on the best terms, but I feel like I owe you for some reason. I don't know. But StreetSec was here and they wanted to know about you. And I just told them, I don't know where Boco hangs out. He took off with that Keldor guy and I don't know where he is now. So just so you know, I didn't tell them anything. So if they come looking for you, it wasn't me.
Noted. Anything else?
No, not really. Just, I'm not happy about you like picking off my students, but I don't want to see you go to jail or anything. So.
How what is your the street site give you trouble otherwise? Or they pretty much leave you alone?
Yeah, they don't care about me. I mean, I'm just providing a service for the community, you know?
Yeah, that you are. Yep, you sure are. How long do I think it might take to get everyone out and everything ready to go?
depends on how much explosives you want to set up. I
As
mean,
much
you
as
don't
possible.
have a lot of stuff other than the artifact. So if you just pick up and leave, you can go like that. If you want like booby traps and stuff, then that's going to take a while. Bringing the artifact is a complicating factor, but it's not a huge complication. You can put it on a grav sled. You can probably transport it fairly safely through the tunnels, depending on whether you run into some weird creature that lives down there or some bandits or something. But if you try transporting it on the surface, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. I think I tell Veldrin then, look, I'll do you a favor. I'm going to give you a call in a little bit and tell you exactly where I am. And if you want to tell StreetSec, feel free.
You sure?
Positive.
You're not
Just
like
don't
setting
come
me up or
yourself.
anything?
Nope, not setting you up.
Okay. Sure. If
right.
that's what you want me to do, I could do that. And now I want you to roll something to convince him to actually do it.
Yeah. Whether he does it or not, I don't really care. It's just
Yeah.
extra for him. Probably feels like consort.
Consort works, sway works,
Yeah,
but I
it's one
think
die.
you have one in either.
That's a 5.
Yeah, I'll sure. I think about it. He's
All right.
he's honest enough to not promise too much.
Yeah, whatever you think is best for you. You'll hear from me one more time and then lose this number and I'll just hang up.
Yeah. Bria, you've trashed the computers to make sure that none of your stored information is left there. The comms console brings again.
Yeah, so she's kind of breathing heavy and she's got this axe in her hands. Just drops it, so he can cut his way through the floor. Cuts a chip out of the floor or whatever. And she's sweaty, her hair's all out of place. And she's like, yeah. Hello?
Oh, hello. It's Zori again. You said you would call me back.
Oh.
It's kind of urgent.
I'll be right over. Honestly, I'm leaving right now.
Good.
I'm on my way. And she's gonna try to sneak out so that no one knows that she's gone. So should I roll for that or?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. Let's see how these dice can fail me again. 2d6. A 5 and a 4. What?
Nice. Yeah, I think. Who do you think spots you as you leave? One person sees you.
So I imagine Yanush comes up and Tiki Tavi are there, and I'm like, I'm gonna go get more explosives. That's her weak excuse. Um, and she's, I'll be back, and then she'll head out.
You want to roll a sway for me there to see if they actually believe you?
Okay, right. Or I can just resist the consequence altogether.
Yeah, that's true. That makes more sense, actually. Yeah.
All right, let me just roll to. How can 4 dice betray me? Let's see what happens now.
You have an extra die for resistance.
Yes, I do. Good gracious, we are ridiculous. I didn't get a critical, but I did get a 6. So
Yeah. So I think what happens is that you notice you notice them before they notice you.
yeah.
So you can slip out.
Okay.
Cool. So you're going to Zori's.
Yes. I know it wasn't the plan, but here I go. So
Yeah. Both you, I think everyone except Boco, because Boco, you're still in the headquarters. But everyone else, Bade, I think you're out trying to find someone from the Grey Mice to like set up the thing. Atoma, you're coming back from Morns. And Bria, you're just leaving. All of you in different places see that StreetSec is moving into the scrapyard in force. They are setting up roadblocks and like starting to, it seems like they're starting to cordon off a pretty large area that seems to include your headquarters. So getting in, you know, they haven't gotten far enough that it's a problem for you to get through it right now, but getting back from whatever direction you decide to go could be a problem. So Bria, you'll be outside the cordon, presumably, if you're going to Zori's.
Yep.
Bade, you're outside the cordon when you notice this. You're talking to someone you know. Someone you know knows someone in the Grey Mice. They're not part of it themselves, but you're trying to get word. Atoma, you're returning from Morns. You're outside the cordon, but you have to decide if you want to go back in or if you want to stay outside.
With all that was happening, I imagine Atoma probably stuffed a little bit of a go bag and took it with her to Morns. So she just makes sure if Bria, Boco, and Bade are outside of a place, she'd probably go hide out somewhere else.
Boco is still inside.
Okay.
He's back at the headquarters, setting everything up.
Okay. Then I'm heading to HQ.
So whenever Bade here, sees that they're cordoning things off, she's going to get on the radio and tell everyone, okay, here's the rendezvous point outside of the cordon, right? Once you guys in HQ get out, this is where we'll rendezvous up in order to sell the artifact to Paula? Hera.
And Hera, her power base kind of is in the Warrens. So is that where you want to go? Is that where you're gathering? Or do you want to gather somewhere else first and then go to the meet?
So I think we should gather up in the Warrens, but not exactly where we're going to meet Hera, just close enough that we can get there, because we got to get moving.
Cool. Yeah, I think, Bade, I think you've been in close to the to the foundry as well. And you've also spotted this, the stormtroopers, and they have started to, and this is where we get into some, everyone feel free to say that we should, yeah, whatever, you know, you know the drill. They are basically going building to building, and they are like inside this cordon that that Street Tech has set up. They're essentially going building to building, like going through, throwing everyone out, going through the building. Some buildings they're tearing down, and you can spot some stormtroopers in, they have like different armor, they're a different color, who they each have a data pad and they're pointing out specific buildings, like that one gets torn down, this one would just go through, that seems to be what they're doing. And they're using their tanks to, like, some buildings they just knock down, just drive through them, and some they go through and just look for things. But they're very systematic. This is clearly they're going to go through this whole area, it seems like.
I had a thought. Bade's going to get back on the communicator, especially to Boco, and say, I had a thought. It might get some of the heat off of us if it looks like we died in the HQ. Can we leave some material back, like some biological material, so it looks like we were there and the troopers or Corpsec just blew us up?
Yes. Where would we get the biological material?
Well, I don't know how to get it through. You know, I'll donate, you know, whatever you need, but I don't know how to get it through the cordon. What do the rest of you think? Is this worthwhile? Silence from Bria because she's with.
It's not a bad idea. I just maybe we bribe somebody. That's going to be easier than getting biological materials. Just bribe some imp to say we were there, file the right report.
Hmm.
I want to remind you that you're not 100% sure that your comms are secure.
Oh God, that's right.
Ooh. I don't know that I knew that, so I'm just blabbing anything unless you guys want to share with me that you don't think the comms are secure. Tell me to be quiet, right?
I'm not
so
sure
I
that'll
think-
work. I'm not sure it'll work.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if Atoma knows this or not. Like, is that a thing Bria would have told?
Yeah, I don't know that. I know that, but I'm paranoid, so I probably assume it.
I think Boco got told, I think Celine told Boco about this, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know that it was mentioned in some context that it's possible, or maybe it was a meta discussion we had, that it's possible for them to hack your comms or slice.
I can't
your
remember if
comms.
we know or not. Yeah, I remember the conversation out of character. I just don't know if my character's aware of it in character. But has she been able to get past the cordons to get into the HQ, or is that a thing we need to?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can get through. You can see that this is happening, but you know the area well enough that you can slip through before they like tighten everything up. So you can choose which side you're on, and you want it to be on the inside.
I do.
So to speak.
I'll in my part of the comm and whisper to Boco, hey, Petra could be our in here. Make it look like we died in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does she need creds? Does she need encouragement? What does she need?
We'll talk to Bree about it. We're gonna wait until some of those Car King troopers are in here before we blow it, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Good. There's only 40.
I can take 10 or 15. I'm gonna give you
That's
dig.
great. That's great. You saw those guys in the different. What you said they were a different color. The troopers were a different color with the
Yeah.
data pads. I'm curious what
Like-
color they are.
Engineers or
The
Yeah,
engineers?
they're
Are they death
engineers.
troopers? Engineers.
I think
Okay.
Boco would recognize them as engineers. I think I actually have a picture on my Pinterest board, but I need to dig that up. I'll drop it in the on the tab when I find it. So I think I want to cut to Bria and see what happens with you and Zori.
Okay. We do drugs. It's great. And I come on back home.
Nothing bad happens.
Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. You just go over there. That's not meant to be a leading question. It's just I want to know if you're how you're.
I mean,
feeling.
I'm trying not to be seen, but
Yeah.
I have no other errands to run that I can think of. Actually, I will spend just 5 or 10 minutes. I'll go into some what section is she in?
She's in the foundry.
Okay. I will diverge for just a moment into Bright Market and get that jacket that Valsey's always asking for, the bomber jacket that he wanted. And then I'll make my way to Zori's.
Yeah. On your way to Zori's, your droid gets on the comms, which usually doesn't happen, but
Okay.
Mistress Bria.
Oh,
Hi.
hi. It's a
Your your Aunt Rosalind was just here. She said you sent her to pick up Valsey.
I did not. Where
Oh,
are they now?
she said they were going for fat cakes.
Did they go with bags?
Yes. I believe Rosalind had some sort of bag with her. It seemed unusual, but I didn't feel it was my place to ask.
I obviously did not pay enough for you. Okay. Well, you're fired.
Oh, I'm
Go find another
so
job.
sorry if I have disappointed you.
And she just hangs up Hollywood style. She's staring at this jacket. And oh, there's pics in the tab.
Yeah,
I
it
see
says
it.
the combat engineer.
So Bria's mind focuses down to like a seesaw. And on one side of the seesaw is Zori, and on the other side of the seesaw is Valsen. and she's weighing where to go. I do not know how to make this decision.
You want to cut to someone else for a bit? Give you some time to think.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there's something that makes it solid one way or the other. She's very torn. So yeah, come back to me and I'll see if I can think of something.
Cool. So Bade, I think some kind of gather info role to just set up the meet, maybe. If you want, or is there something you want to know or prepare, or are you just whatever? Will you just go along with whatever Hera says, or actually that's stuff we could do in flashbacks?
I was going to say this kind of feels like it's time for the engagement role for the selling of the artifact.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I think so. So, Boco, you've set up, you've prepared the headquarters to blow. Everyone wants to get out of there now. Are you
idea.
bringing them with you to the meet with Hera?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's coming.
Cool. So everyone's coming along. You've set there's some sort of booby trap trigger, but you can also trigger it remotely.
Yeah.
Or
turn it off remotely. Yeah.
Janusz can do it.
Yeah.
It's Janusz who set things up, and it's like very, very particular about the sequence of signals you have to send to so that it just doesn't get set up by some stray interference or something. He's a pro. He likes to blow things up, but he wants to do it professionally. Cool. So, yeah, let's do the engagement roll. And this is a transport job, I think, because the point is the thing is getting the artifact there. That's like the part of the job that's difficult. Start with one die. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
The only thing that's daring about it, I think, is the speed, because we're trying to get it in, get it done, and get out. But I don't know if that counts.
Are we trying to get it through the blockade, or is that not a problem yet?
You have to.
Yeah.
But you're
That feels a
using
little
I
different.
assume, oh, sorry, that's part of the route and means. I was assuming you're using the tunnels, at least
Oh,
to
yeah.
get out of the scrapyard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't clear if they had blocked off all means of exit, but yeah.
Yeah, as far as you know, they haven't blocked the service tunnels.
Yeah, and it sounds like not that daring.
Right.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors? I don't think so. It's pretty straightforward. Does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Yes, because they haven't blocked off the service tunnels. They're working on the surface. Stormtroopers and the street side. Are they strongest against this approach? No. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
The gray mice, right?
Yeah. Are any enemies or rivals interfering with the operation? I don't think so, beyond like the fact that you're transporting through nobody beyond the obvious hindrances, but they're kind of part of the main setup. Are there any other elements to consider? Is there anything you think factors in here?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So that's 3 dice. Who wants to roll?
I'll roll that since I'm making the contacts with the gray mice, if that's okay.
Go for it.
As long as there's not Kai rolling the dice, sounds good.
Well, I don't roll great. I can't push myself for this, right?
No, this is just
Okay.
these are the dice you get.
Oh, I got a 6.
There we go.
Nice. So you're starting in a control position. And I think the first obstacle is getting past the cordon. Sorry, actually, the first obstacle is like navigating the tunnels, because you haven't moved this much. I mean, you've moved in the immediate area around your headquarters, but now you're moving in areas you don't know that well, places you haven't been. You need to like find the way through the tunnels. So I think someone should make some kind of roll for that. Or how are you tackling that?
So
problem?
we've got it on a grab sled with a tarp or something over it, right?
Yeah.
Might it be a survey roll to make sure that the area is clear and safe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you like going on ahead and finding a route, or are you like doing it? Are you sticking together, everyone?
Yeah, I think if it's cool, I'll go a little bit ahead and scout to make sure stuff is cool. And if anyone wants to help me, like Bait or someone, I could use an extra die.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely help.
Cool. So that's 3 dice, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see what we get. There's a 6.
Nice. And in a control position, that is just you just do it. Or actually 6, you always do it. The area here is fairly safe. Like occasionally you hear something from a side tunnel, something scurry away, but you don't run into any bigger creatures. You don't spot any tunnel rat settlements on the like first leg, at least. You went through. Oh, sorry. Press that. How long do you plan to stay underground? Do you plan to go all the way to the Warrens, or do you plan to surface at some point and go above ground?
It seems like it's best to stay underground as long as possible if we can, I guess. Unless y'all have other ideas.
I mean, that makes the most sense. I can tell you that, the patrols that are up above, whenever we're walking around with the grab sled with the tarp on it, they're going to ask questions. So underground is, probably the most secure thing.
Cool. Yeah, I'm for that.
Cool. Then let me make a fortune roll. Yeah. Like I said, it's quiet. You don't run into any major issues. When you get to there's you've been traveling through this like network of the minor tunnels. When you get out into one of the like big major tunnels, and these are like three what do you call it? It's like a highway almost.
Mhm.
It's like you could drive 3 cars side by side through it. Here you get out into the tunnel and you spot some ways over to the side. There is something moving. You see lights moving. It's dark down here, but you see lights moving, and you hear stormtroopers talking to each other. They're maybe 100 yards away. Maybe you can get across the tunnel before they spot you. Maybe not. Maybe you want to find a different route. How do you want to deal with it?
I can kill them all.
I'm gonna mark off my macro binoculars and see if I can get a better idea of what they're doing.
Cool. Let me see. I think study or survey.
Yeah. Do survey probably.
Yeah. Atoma can probably help you. You have your cyber eye with the.
Oh
yeah.
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 Dial it in. Enhance. Enhance.
That's an extra die for the.
So is that 3 dice altogether?
Yeah, and 1 stress for Atoma for the help.
Got a 5. It's all right.
A 5 on a controlled position. You can withdraw and try a different approach, or you can do it and suffer consequence. A minor complication, reduced effectiveness of harm, or your position becomes risky. I think this is, you spot that, yeah, they are moving in your direction, but they're like checking side tunnels. You can get across here, but they'll probably hear you. So it's possible that they'll start following you, or they'll communicate that there's something going on here, which I think would mean that your position becomes risky.
How many did you say there were?
There's 5 of them.
It's only
You can
5.
resist that,
Yeah.
since it's a consequence. Or you can just withdraw and try something different.
I'm okay being casual and let them, let them try to follow us. I think we can solve them if we need to. If everyone's cool with that.
Fly casual.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're accepting the consequence of moving to a risky position instead of control.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get across this major tunnel into a side tunnel on the other side. You hear one of them say, "I saw something." Sorry, I should have the voice mod up. I don't have it. Have it online right now. Yeah, I'll call it in, and then they yeah, be careful. And they're moving forward again. But you pass the tunnel, you're through there. You don't know if they're following you, because now you're in these more winding side tunnels again. But you get to a spot where there's been some damage, like part of a tunnel has collapsed, and you can't use the grab sled to get across. It's like the floor has fallen out. The tunnel you're moving through is either you have to find some other way across, or you'll have to backtrack and maybe risk running into them if these troopers, if they are following you. Or you need to go into some other tunnels that aren't as safe as the ones you've been traveling through so far. Or some other.
Yeah. How much, like, how far across is it? I guess. How much would be needed?
It's like 10 feet. and it's not deep. It's like maybe 10 feet down to the bottom, but the grab sled can't handle the height difference.
I'm okay backtracking, and maybe we'll run into some fun. Make Atoma happy.
Okay, Boco, I'm not sure we have time for that. We really need to get where we're going. I'll mark off burglary gear for ropes to lower it down, lower the grab sled down, pull it across, pick it back up, and just keep going.
Cool.
What do you think?
I'm for that. Sounds good to me.
You'll probably have to leave the grab sled, but you can carry the artifact.
That doesn't sound dangerous at all. Let's
Yeah,
do
be
it.
fine. Super fine.
Super safe. I think you're getting close to the area where you need to get topside to meet up with Bria, because since everyone else is in the group right now. So I think we should cut to Bria. We're also close. We're a bit past the hour, so maybe we should take a break first.
Cool.
Yeah. So while Brienne Boco, Atoma, and the rest of the crew are transporting the artifact, Bria is still on the surface. Have you made a decision?
Yeah, it's like, while everybody else is doing their job, we'll flash over to Bria.
Your parent, that's
Right.
the job.
Right. That's funny you should say that. So I think the camera's like following, like, it's obvious that it's like a point of view of someone just walking and you're seeing feet. She's obviously bumping into people and stuff like that. She's looking down. It starts raining. There's lights bouncing off of the rain that's on the ground and stuff like that. And she looks up and she's at Zori's. And
Yeah.
she heads in.
Cool. Yeah. Usually there's a couple of Zori's like goons, for lack of a better word, by the door.
Right.
And since they're wearing those masks with the moon Minox, you don't you can't tell them apart really. You feel like you've learned to recognize a couple of them. You don't recognize these two, but that's not unusual in itself. When you
So as I'm going in, I'll mention supposedly be mentioning the name of one of the other guards and saying, is Inkoff off tonight? Inkoff must be off tonight, right? And I'm walking by, and it's not really a guard who works there, but if they say yeah, then and if not, then I learned something.
Yeah, let's make that a roll to see if you get something in time to use it, or
All right.
what do you want to roll?
Like to make an insight check based off of my wisdom. Let's see. Survey. Understand what's going on.
Yeah, sure, that works.
And last roll was 5 dice. Now it's 1 die. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's worse.
Do you have a devil's bargain?
Ooh, difficult to give something that isn't
Yeah, I get it.
dependent on your role, but if someone has an idea.
Is there a clock going with like my aunt getting out of town with Valsi? Like the more time I spend on this, the less chance I have of finding them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I will set up that clock. That is a 4 o'clock. And this,
Jeez.
yeah, she's not waiting around.
I
I'll
asked for
put-
this. I asked for this. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'll take that. That's worth a die. Yeah. That's a bargain. A 2 and a 3.
Yeah, sure, that was worth it.
That was totally
Um,
worth it.
One of all you get is like a shrug from one of them.
Right.
That's all you get before you're
Right.
through the door.
Got it.
And they follow you through the door. And inside, I think we had a picture of Zori's face, right? We had this
Yeah.
like sunken.
Yeah, right. The
station
70s
pit
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. You get inside. Zori is sitting in the conversation pit. And she has Sebastian, her modded pet thing, hound pet thing, beside her. But she is sitting very stiff. She's not at all her usual relaxed self. Jorgen is standing, because you've encountered enough to recognize him, even with
Sure.
his mask on.
Right.
He's standing in like a corner behind her.
Right.
And there's you see a couple of couple more Moon Minox, including Freeze Mop is there.
Yep. Right. Right.
He's not wearing a mask because it doesn't really work with his face.
Right.
And on the other side of the room is Kernok, along with 3 Black Sun goo. The same kind of people you were fighting in the when you got Tiri.
Right. Okay. Can this also be a job where I'm trying to save Zori so that I can use like my flashbacks and equipment and stuff like that?
I don't think it's a job, but I'm happy to let you use flashback.
Okay. Well, isn't this a lovely party?
Yes, it is. I'm glad you're finally here.
I had to go shopping for mine. I had to go shopping. She drops the bag.
You have something I want. You took my prisoner, who was my way to the thing you hold.
I see.
Give it to me.
The prisoner or the thing or
The artifact.
oh. Um, I honestly would love to, but I think it's being handed off to someone else right now.
Where? To who?
I left before they made the decision.
Are you telling me that you're of no further use to me?
So pause. What are the is there any chance that I survive this?
You have your implants. You can turn practically invisible for a short moment.
Yeah. And
Um,
feats of athleticism, and they fire on each other. Yeah, I've done this kind of thing before.
Yeah. So this is absolutely survivable. It's not easy, but you can survive this. Yes.
Okay. Given my speed and my ability to push myself for a feat of athleticism, I would like to have a knife to her throat just a second later. I don't know if that's too far or too much. Otherwise, otherwise I'm trying to run, but you know.
You're not going to what you can do is, if you make a roll or use one of your, I haven't read your abilities in detail right now.
It just means I go quicker than everyone else. That's all.
Yeah, you're faster, so you can definitely act before they have time to react.
Right.
But you can. I don't think you can get her. She's fast as well.
Yeah.
So you're not going to catch her unawares quite that well.
Yeah.
You can get a shot at her, or get very close to her, so they have a hard time shooting, that sort of thing. But you're not going to get get the drop on her completely.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. And is if I don't have the time to evaluate this, just let me know. But is Zori alive?
Zori is definitely alive.
Okay,
she's moving.
Okay, yeah. When she said she wasn't moving very much, I thought, well, maybe she isn't moving at all because
no. She's like half petting Sebastian, half like holding him.
Got it. All right, let me take a look at my sheet real quick. Reflexes, when there's a question about who acts first, the answer is you.
Yeah.
If she has the same thing, then we act simultaneously.
Yeah, but that's I think that's more of a PC thing. If it's like 2-player characters, I would say that you can act before her, because this is an ability you have, but there are still like limits to it.
Okay.
But if you want to use, if you turn on your stealth mode and use Devil's Footsteps, then you can definitely get out of there before they have time to do anything. Because there's, I assume there's some kind of window or something you can get out through. You can like slip past the guys behind you and back out through the door. So you have options to get out of here without dying, but you'll have to make a roll of some kind.
Okay.
If you want to get into it with her, you can do that too. And if you try to get a knife to her neck and roll a crit, you can probably do that.
Oh, that's all. The dice have been really good to me tonight, so I don't know. That's a
yeah.
One last question.
But I should also say that given that she has some kind of implants as well, slitting her throat may not kill her.
Right. I didn't even think about that. Thank you. That answers that answers the question perfectly.
That is awesome. I just wanted to highlight that was amazing. Wow.
So what is it that Leia is using in Java's palace when she goes for Han? That little grenade-looking thing.
Thermal detonator.
Thermal detonator.
Yeah. So I want to have that, and I want to drop that and run. and hopefully drop
That's going to
that.
put. That's definitely going to put Zori, Sebastian, and Jorgen in danger as well, and Freeze Mob and the others. That's
Serious
not
danger.
just going to.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that. Okay, shit.
That's like a heavy grenade thing.
Okay.
It's not.
All right. All right. Okay. Well, I have been bested. What do I do?
Knife to throat, knife to throat.
Okay. All right. Yeah, if Rich is into it, I'm into it. So I will push myself. Let's see here. When you push yourself, choose one of the following. So, all right, I'll mark 2 stress because I'm pushing myself. There is no devil's bargain to be taken. Let's see here. And it says,
I don't
I
think you
can-
have to perform a feat of athletics that verges on the superhuman to get to her. Not
Okay.
at least not, or I should say it like this: either you use that or you activate your stealth mode. If you activate your stealth mode, you can use the other thing for the devil's footsteps that they
oh, I see. I see what you're
mistakenly
saying.
attack each other.
Could these? It says I have silent repulsors. Could I just like kick them to give me a boost of speed across the room? With that?
Yeah, but I don't think you need that if you're going invisible.
Do you think I need to go invisible to make this happen?
You either if you want to use the thing from the devil's footsteps where they attack each other,
Yeah.
then you have to use stealth mode, because I think you have to use either stealth mode or the feat of athletics that verges on the superhuman in order to get to Kernok before you get shot. And you don't have a lot of stress left.
Right. Right. Well, let me go back to where I was, which was 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if she's wired like I am, then I think my stealth mode will work on her. So I could take 2 stress to active. Takes 3 stress to be invisible. Okay.
You don't need to be invisible to get to her. The 2 stress to activate the stealth mode is enough, because if you become shadowy here, you move, you tumble. I mean that sort of thing you can do without. That's enough to get you to her.
Okay. All right. I'll spend 2 stress. Like before I do so though, like to do a callback for the fans, I'm like, so carking hot, and then I I go shadowy, and I will prowl, and I have to stress to push myself for another die, and if I did that, then I could choose from Devil's Footsteps.
Yeah. But then you only have 1 stress left. So
well, I have no stress left at that point. I would trauma out at that point.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have one box left, right?
No, that last box is your trauma. It's like you take that, you take a trauma, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only have 8, right? Like the 9, like more than 8 is trauma town.
Yeah, it's you fill it. It's not fill it and 1 more. It's fill it. You fill it in trauma.
Yeah, but haven't you paid 2 for stealth mode now, right?
Yeah, so I've got 6 stress to do stealth mode. I could spend 2 for another die now to push myself, and then take one of the options from the Devil's Footsteps. But if I took any more stress, I would trauma out.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah.
So okay. All right. Yeah. We're in agreement then. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Don't trauma.
Or do Don't try my out.
Don't yet.
Okay.
You can't win if you like put a knife to her throat but trauma out. No.
Right. So I will save the pushing myself for
Yeah, because if you get a consequence that you want to
Yeah.
resist, then you
Yeah.
may not want to rely on rolling a 6. Even if you're rolling 5 dice and have a
Yeah.
very good chance of rolling a 6, you're not sure.
right. What is my position in effect?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Effect 0.
I mean, you're in a desperate position.
Desperate.
I think that's
XP.
pretty clear. I think with the way you're doing this, I mean, is your intention to stab her, or is your intention to have a knife on her throat?
My goal as a character is to make her stand everybody down.
Yeah, cool.
I'm doing that by trying to put a knife to her throat.
Yeah. I think limited effect makes sense. Because by doing this, you're kind of kickstarting the violence.
If I were simply going for damage, would it be higher than limited? Would it be?
Ooh, good question.
I mean, another way of doing this is just to try to kill her.
Yeah. I think trying to kill her is actually harder.
Okay.
Because she's used to that.
Yeah.
Like that's what she's built for, quite literally. She's built for fighting. So threatening her is probably going to work better. I think you're at 0 effect if you try to just straight up stab her.
Got it. Okay. So if I wanted it to, I don't have any position effect that I can swap. So I'm at desperate limited.
Yeah.
Okay. Or I just run. I get out of there.
Yeah, if you're trying to get out of here, you're still in a desperate position. But I think that then you're at least that standard effect. You can get out. If you succeed on the roll, you get out of the room. That's with all the enhancements you have. That's not a problem.
I think I'd like a chase scene more than a I'm shot in the gut scene. So I will try to escape. I will activate to go fuzzy. I will use.
If you pay 1 more stress, it will last longer, a few minutes instead of just.
Perfect. I'll do that. Well, yep, I'll do that. And prowl. I think that's a prowl roll.
Yeah.
Okay. And I go first.
Mm-hmm. And are you trying to go back out the door? Are you going for the window? What's
right? So in my map in my head, pretty much everybody's kind of clustered on the right where the wall is, and then the window's on my left. And if I just ran for the window and jumped out, I'd run by the fewest amount of people, is what I'm trying to say.
I think like the conversation bit with Zori and her people are on the right. Karnok is on the left.
I see. And where's the
but
window?
I think you have windows on either side. You could go for, and it's highly unlikely that Zori or Jorgen would try to stop you. So that's probably the one where you have the least resistance. On the other hand, if you go, I mean, you're nearly invisible, so you could run straight past Karnak as well. But that's probably inviting, I think it's inviting a different kind of consequence that's more likely to get you hurt. If you go for the one on Zori's side, you're more likely to get her hurt.
Okay. Well, the decision is that if I can get Karnak to chase me, then that gets her out of the way of Zori, and Zori and her team can GTFO. So I will I'll run towards Karnak and then go out the window.
Cool. Like the roll.
All right. So
I don't think you have any injuries that matter, right? No.
No. So just it doesn't mean anything for the dice, but I think Wreck is just as applicable as Prowl at this point. But I think Prowl's where I want to be. I want to be outside and hard to find.
Yeah,
okay.
I think yeah.
Okay.
Your prowl about unseen and traverse obstacles. I think that's what you're doing.
You wouldn't want to get out the dice game and roll for me, would you?
I am not going to roll for you.
That was
Now
recorded. I want to make that into a meme. I am not going to roll for you.
Okay.
So you have 2 dice, right?
2 dice. Yep.
Yeah. Fun time.
Yeah. I will also activate my disruption bubble generator, and everything will go completely silent.
Ooh, cool.
Because I've never used it.
Yeah.
And I think, if they can't hear where I'm running, then they have a harder time finding me.
Yeah.
So, and then of course my camo cloak gets activated as well. Okay, so
You don't need to have your camo cloak to do this.
Yeah,
the stealth
yeah.
mode is
got it. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna leave behind the jacket. All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh my lord.
Oh, stay. Nice.
6 and a 1.
Wow. My heart was in my throat.
I know.
Yeah. So
I don't deserve this. Oh my god.
yeah. So what does this look like?
Um,
And I think you're on like the 3rd floor or something. But it's not just like a dead drop from the window. There's fire escapes if you want them, and that sort of.
Okay. I think the only person in the room that can see me in the moments that this is happening is Karnak. And I do like a rapid, like when runners get into their positions for like the Olympics or whatever, like I get into like almost into that stance and just push, and like the repulsors and all that just kind of activate for a moment to give me that little bit of speed. I go gray, and she sees me pull out a blaster. She thinks I'm going to shoot her, but I shoot the window next to her, and jump through. And I said it was raining, so I think I land on top of a 2-story building next to this and tumble. And she can see the rain not like getting blurry in certain spaces, and like footsteps. Oh, like the first animated Ghost in the Shell movie. The guy's invisible, but like you can see his footsteps. So Kusanagi's going to come after me. Yep, that's what it looks like. Unless you want to go further with the description.
No. That's awesome.
Okay.
Where do you? I think. Ooh.
My goal is cat and mouse.
Yeah. You want her to follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like glance over your shoulder. You see her jumping out of the window
Sure.
to follow you. And you see a couple of her goons like looking out through the window after her, and they clearly can't see where you are. They don't know where you are, but she does, or vaguely at least. I mean, you still have your stealth mode, but since you're not completely invisible,
Right.
she can still kind of follow you.
Of course. Yeah.
You want to lead her away. I mean, you want to draw her away, but you also want to get away from her at some point, I assume.
Unless I find some way of putting her at a severe disadvantage.
Cool. So your goal is to
where I want to lead her towards the column. And I want to shoot her with a tank eventually.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
I mean, they've moved into the they've started doing this house to house thing.
Okay.
So, but you can definitely lead her towards the stormtroopers where they are. Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be like, oh, that's not the person we're looking for. I won't shoot her. Yeah, I think we'll both be likely to be shot at. So cool. I will continue rolling dice and seeing what happens, but I'm heading towards the troopers.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of goading her,
just turning the stealth off for a moment so she can just spot you, and then turning it on and like jumping down from a building.
Right, but something like like I thought they built your kind better or something like that.
You want to let her get close enough that you can talk to her?
Well, I thought this was like movie physics where she could hear me no matter how far away I am.
Yeah. I mean, we can absolutely do that.
But no, totally. Like I could jump to a building and move around to the side of like a thing, and then like call out to her, and then she spots me, and I run again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna pin
Cool.
the 6 out for everything I can.
This still sounds like Prowl to me.
Okay. All right.
And I think, are you still in a desperate position? I don't think so. I think you're in a risky position at this point.
That's nice.
And standard effect, if that matters.
Okay. It sounds like a sway for manipulation.
Yeah, if you're trying to trick her to actually get into the yeah, could be sway.
Okay. Devil's bargain tick on the 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, my 1 sway becomes 2 dice, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, a critical.
Oh, that's a crit. You're getting repaid for all your terrible
just saving up. Yeah.
The system's nah, Bria's got to survive. I will take the critical.
So
so I see something that must have like infuriate her. God, I wonder what it is. Jeez. Man, I wish I knew. I really wish I knew.
What it was it may have been that you were made better than this, kind of goading it.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
that. How about if you're looking for suggestions? I thought your kind was made better than this, and maybe you don't know it, but she's dealing with some kind of defect.
Oh,
Like
okay.
she can't see you as well, or something like that. Yeah.
Maybe it's a defect from when I got a critical on her way back and she survived. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, I think what you see is that you like jump across a gap between two buildings, you roll, you keep running, and you sneak behind something, you look over your shoulder to see her. She makes the same, like this animated movie thing. She does the exact same move, rolls over, but when she gets up, she like you can see that she has some pain in her shoulder from and she holds exactly where Atoma shot her. And you see her grimace and like set her face, and she scans, and she kind of spots you, so you have to run off again. But you've noticed that she you've gotten under her skin a little bit, and you lead her straight into the stormtroopers. What does that look like?
I got a very Daredevil Spider-Man kind of thing going on in my head right now. And so I'm running, and I leap off of a building, but now we're down towards first floor, or 1 story tall. And what I do is there's a pair of troopers, and I land on one of them's face, like my feet hit his face and take him all the way down. And I keep moving, but when she's leaping down, that's when the other guy pulls his gun out. Right? He's like, what the? And, you know, I'm not trying to kill the trooper, just like set her up. I'm trying to do a setup for them to shoot at her, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm on the street. I'm on the street now. There might be a tank. There might not. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're you've landed in this area that's because you've skipped over the cordon that StreetSec have set up.
Okay.
And you've landed in this kind of back area. You can there used to be a building here. It's been destroyed by the tanks.
Okay.
You see some people being pushed out of a building across the street, and one of the tanks is right now demolishing another building like down the block.
Okay.
And these 2 troopers were like just standing guard in the like the back zone. It's like a block in the other direction from the tank is where the roadblock is that StreetSec has set up for this street.
My goal at this point is to, it's working, so I'll just keep doing it. I'm going to try to get to a tank and shoot her with a tank. That's what I'm going to try to do. So. It's not very good.
Want to see another role for that? I think. Okay. Actually, let me think about this.
You can come back to me if you want.
Yeah, I think maybe we should finish up the job to not leave that hanging.
Okay.
You've made it to the Warrens. I think you need to make some sort of roll to like maneuver the last bit without catching too much attention, because the Warrens, that's I mean, the foundry is that's a factory production area. It's there's a lot of workers there. The Warrens is like a slum. There's a lot of poverty, or not all of it is a slum, I should say. Some of it is just cheap housing, but there are definitely slum areas. There's a lot of gang activity in the Warrens, so catching the wrong kind of attention can be pretty bad. So someone should do a roll or something to do that.
We're trying to stealth something up, right?
Sounds like it. If you're like moving in through back alleys and that sort of thing.
So prowl is probably our best bet.
Do we want to do a group action for it?
Oh, group action sounds fun. We're all
That
pretty good at
sounds-
prowl. Let's group
Sounds
action.
good. So who's low on stress and wants to lead?
I'll lead.
me.
I'm low on stress.
Who? Atoma
Oh,
leads.
Bait could lead too. I didn't want to steal that from you, Steven, if you want to lead.
That's fine. You go ahead.
Okay.
You spoke first.
Cool. So each of you make a prowl roll. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone roll prowl. I think actually I'll make a roll for your cohort as well. Think they should be at 2 dice since they're here. You're tier 2, and this isn't their specialty thing. They get a 6, so there's no stress for them. They know how to do this.
I got a 6.
Nice.
I got a 5.
So that's still a success, right?
I got
Nice.
it.
And a 6 from Bade. Yeah, so no stress.
We're sneaky
Yeah,
sneakers.
how does this look like when you're moving through these back alleys and carrying the artifact now, or how are you moving it? What's going on there?
I think maybe this is where Boco's again drawing on his cop background, like, okay, cool, like you stay there, we'll move, check it out. This is clear, you move ahead, we'll cover you while you're moving. Just kind of like hopscotching our way through, making sure anything is clear, and if not, going around it.
Nice.
Yeah, and S and IG, they are definitely they're used to doing the same kind of thing. So they're following. They're like perimeter, checking the
Watching our
sides,
flanks.
making
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Cool. We're coming up on time. I can go a bit long. I'd like to finish the job if everyone has time to stay a bit longer.
Yeah.
Cool. You get to the meet. Hera is there. She has like, you can see like 6 guys or 6 people, I should say. She has with her. She actually has they're mostly female gang members from various species. Very, very mixed. And she, yeah, she's there. And she walks forward, she moves. She has a very fluid kind of almost boneless walk. She moves very she moves weirdly. She doesn't look like a person walking. She looks almost like she's floating or gliding forward, even though you can see her feet like sitting down on the ground. Oh yes, I want this very much. I believe you're in a rather tricky position. I will give you 6 credits.
We would like 10, but as a gift to you, 6 is acceptable. And we push it over.
Yeah, we'll take the first offer. Atoma kind of hisses, but she's
Gotta
not
get,
gonna
get on her good side.
consider that a gift.
We'll take half of
That's
what we
6
want. Go
creds.
for it.
We can get 12 on the open market. You're getting a discount, and you better remember it.
Oh, we will remember. We will remember your generosity. Hidden daggers. And she hands over the money. And she like almost caresses the artifact as they take it away.
Be good to it.
Oh, I will. I will be very good. We'll have a nice and safe home with me.
I hope so. You know, others are looking for it.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. We have our secrets.
All right.
Go now. And they start to move out from their side of this place.
Hi. Cool.
Cool. You get 6 credits to split how you like. Let's do the fallout.
Want to take a credit each and put 2 in the gang?
Yeah.
Cool. This was smooth and quiet, low exposure. So you start at 0 heat. Target is high profile or well connected. I don't think so. Action did not happen on hostile turf. You are at war with another faction. So that's +1. There was no killing involved. So you take 1 hit.
Nice.
Should have been doing jobs like this all along.
I know.
1 heat.
It was way easier than a lot of other.
You get rep as well. You get 2 rep. I think. I think the target here. I think Tara counts as the target.
Okay.
And she's a level 2 faction, so it's just two reps straight up, which is enough to push you. It fills up your meter. I should mark these. Yeah, I'll do that later. Cool. So entanglement. You are still at 0 to 3 heat, but you're at 1 to level 4. So I'm rolling 4 dice and taking the highest. 5. Rivals or Avenger. Rivals is interfaction threatening first purveyors. Off. Avenger is someone you have wronged tries to take vengeance on you. I think rivals makes the most sense here. We'll deal with that next session. I need to figure out who that would be. Cool. We should do XP. I don't know. Do we want to resolve Bria's situation before we end the session, or do we end on the cliffhanger?
Here's always fun.
I think cliffhanger.
Cool. So we'll do XP and get back to Bria next session.
Nice.
So lead off
Cool.
with crew XP.
Yeah. Did you execute a successful battle, extortion, sabotage, or smash and grab operation? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You did contend with challenges above your current station. I think you hit that one twice with both Street Sec and
Zori. The Zori
everything.
situation.
Yeah. So that's 2. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? I
That was
think
a professional
professional.
job. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you hit professional, but probably only once. Did
So
you-
maybe I
Yes.
don't know a whole lot about the situation, but I have a question about, was Bria loyal by showing up for Zori? Because I think the only reason she showed up
Ooh.
was to make sure
Oh,
Zori was
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And probably
Absolutely.
for kissing. I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
If you haven't made out with a
Uh,
mask, like you haven't made out at all. Helmet.
Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out, Steven. Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
I mean, our goal was to get rid of the artifact.
We're in the process of cutting and running though, and we're expressing that the crew's more important, but I don't think we're done with that.
I think Bade's comment of like, I wouldn't, the loyalty comment of we're not going to cut on them. I
Mhm.
wouldn't cut on you guys. I felt like that definitely was a,
Yeah.
hey, we're all freaking out, but this is our core ideal. Appreciated that a lot, by the way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hit that one once. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds fair to me.
Cool. So you fill up your XP. So that's a special ability or 2 crew upgrades. I think we'll save that for next time, since you're kind of in the, if you're abandoning your old headquarters, I think it's fair. It's reasonable to bank that to see where you end up, and maybe you want to do something there.
Oh God.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, did we blow up right? I don't think that happened on screen, right?
Not yet.
It hasn't
no.
happened
Oh,
yet.
it's got to happen on screen. Okay, sorry, I'll save that
Yeah.
for a wish.
Cool. Individual XP. Let's start with Atoma. Did you address a challenge with violence or coercion?
I tried, but no,
Sorry.
not even.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I don't know. She was really out of sorts, so
Yeah, you didn't get all that much screen time either.
yeah. So I don't think so.
Yeah,
Struggled with issues of viciousness. I think that's the only edge case I could see if you, felt
you
nice,
kind of
but
wanted to kill some Stormies.
I hardcore wanted to kill some Stormies. Like,
Yeah, I think you should get. You should definitely get an XP.
I'll take it. 1 XP versus 0 XP. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, bad session
That's okay.
for Etoma's
Not-
advancement.
That's all good. I healed up. I got a sore leg. It's all good.
Yeah. Boco, did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
Tracking that kind of going through and checking stuff out. Not sure if that's tracking or scouting.
I don't know. I felt like tracking is according to what you think of tracking, but you're definitely our Overwatch for a lot of this.
Yeah. I'll take
Yeah,
that. No violence though.
I think it's going to fall into the other ones maybe, but let's say it's one for that. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Cop background for coordinating the mission there.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's about that though. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
Just the general paranoia about who we can trust and should we take them or tell them what's going on or whatever.
Yeah. You feel like that was a struggle? Did it negatively impact something?
Yeah, I mean, I think unless other people were pushing for it, I would have been like, maybe we should leave some folks behind, or maybe we should like do some, shake them down to see if, they're wearing a wire or whatever the equivalent is. So, yeah, I think Bade kind of saved us from that, but that was definitely a possibility.
Cool. Yeah. Then I think you hit that one. That puts you at 3, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Bria, did you address a challenge with stealth or evasion?
Yeah, I think I did.
At least once.
The evasion, like the rooftop evasion for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I went semi-invisible too, so both stealth and evasion, I guess.
That's true. The whole like slipping out to get away to start.
Yeah, no, I slipped out at the I snuck out. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I think you hit that one twice then. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Yeah. Obviously, I struggled with my beliefs, but I did, like, there was a third choice, right? Like, just leave, right? Like, I didn't have to take, I could have skipped Zori and my kid and just, so I did go with my beliefs. It's just I ended up choosing Zori because my thought was like, Valsi's with someone who's safe. Zori is not. I could go and try to intercept for Valsi, but that guarantees that Zori. But if I go after Zori, then there's still a possibility my son will be okay. So that's how she decided that. So that would be her belief. And I mean, the background came up with the PTSD at the beginning of watching the troops.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Stomp their way in. So I think I got 4.
Yeah, and I think you struggled with your vice since Valsi is one of your vices.
Oh yeah. All right, 5. Awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool. And Bade, did you address a challenge with theft or innocence?
I don't think I stole anything, but I think I especially expressed innocence with, not blabbing everything over the comms, not even thinking that they could be hacked. And maybe saying that we should bring everyone along rather than, even if they are moles, right? Rather than trust them, don't automatically think that they're going to turn us in.
Yeah, I think the last one is addressing a challenge. The talking on the comms is maybe not really that, but I think we can fit that in later probably. Like, did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I think at some point I said we don't want to try and put the artifact with the gray mice. They'll just sell it.
Yeah.
And made the connection to Hara through the gray mice. So I think that's background. Yeah.
So I think that, and I think we can kind of fold the talking on the comms into that part. You're not used to that sort of thing.
Okay.
So I think you hit that one twice. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
So my trauma is unstable. The only thing I can think of is at the very beginning, whenever I went out to reduce the heat and, shit went down and I was like, oh, yeah, everything's happy, everything's great, but, maybe that was a problem. And then of course, Boco, well, that's a star. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that works. So I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4 total.
Okay.
One for the innocence, 2 for the beliefs and drives, and 1 for the trauma. Cool. Yeah, let's end the recording and do stars and wishes.